Good morning, children, and welcome to your economics class. So, chapter test over, right? How did it go? I'm sure you all have done really very well. You'll get the marks very soon, probably by today itself once it is ready. Students, since we have got some time for today's class, I thought of sharing this very small video with you all today. So, this video consists of the topic, the other names of modern currencies. So today we shall be discussing about the various other names of modern currencies. Students, we all know that the paper currency notes and coins are the modern form of money which are in circulation in the entire country, right? But there are various other names by which we can address these paper currency notes and coins. So aren't you interested to know about these various names? I'm sure you are. So, without further delay, let's start with our today's class. Well, students, the learning objectives of our today's class are: number 1, to equip ourselves with the knowledge of the various other names of modern currencies and their meanings. So, at the first place, we shall be able to know, or we shall be able to have the knowledge of the various other names of modern currencies. Along with that, we shall also be able to know the meanings of these various names. Okay. Secondly, to be aware of several important facts related to money. So students, after discussing about the various other names of the modern currencies, we shall be discussing about some very important facts related to money. For example, who issues the paper currency notes and coins, who issues the rupee 1 coin, all those type of things. So students, these are very important things, and these are very essential for us to know. So students, let's begin with the first important name that is given to the modern currencies, that is symbolic or token money. So students, symbolic means to represent something, right? To indicate something. So why are paper currency notes and coins considered as symbolic or token money? For example, students, if we take a 500 rupee note, in one of our classes I have even shown you a 500 rupee note, right? So let us consider a 500 rupee note. The money value of that note is 500. That means by using that note, you can buy goods and services worth rupees 500. Okay, you can buy a dress, you can buy some books, you can buy some kind of service, maybe you can go to the doctor and treat, right? So that paper currency, that 500 rupee note, consists of the money value of 500. But students, do you think that the material by which that 500 rupee note is made, is that material worth rupees 500? No, that is basically some kind of paper whose value is very less. So that is why the paper currency notes and coins are called as symbolic money, because they represent money, because their money value is much more than their commodity value. Money value is also known as the face value. So if a note, if it is a 500 rupee note, then its money value or face value will be 500. If it is a 10 rupee note, then its money value or face value will be rupees 10. But students, the commodity value is the value of the material by which that money is made. For example, the paper by which that 500 rupee note is made, the value of the paper is the commodity value, right? Or we can also say as the intrinsic value. So you can see below the slide I have written face value equals to money value and intrinsic value equals to commodity value. So sometimes instead of using the word face value, I can use the word money value. Don't get confused, both these terms mean the same, right? Intrinsic value equals to commodity value. So sometimes instead of using commodity value, I can refer it to it as intrinsic value. Don't get confused, both these terms mean the same. So students, the paper currency notes and coins are also called as symbolic or token money because their money value or face value is more than their commodity or intrinsic value. Sometimes the paper by which that money is made, or the metal by which that 10 rupee coin is made, it carries very little or sometimes even no value. They are very cheap, right? But since they represent money, they carry such a high money value. That note, 500 rupee note, in itself does not have any value. It has value only because it is considered money, only because the government has given it a value of 500. Otherwise, if we just consider that paper itself doesn't have any value. So that is why they are known as symbolic or token money. Their face value or money value is much higher than their commodity or the intrinsic value, right? The next important term that is used to refer to the paper currency notes and coins are high-powered money. So students, the various notes and coins that we use are also called as high-powered money. Why they are called high-powered money? Because they constitute the entire monetary base of the economy. Because all the money that is in circulation in the country, all the money that is in use in the country comes under high-powered money. High-powered money includes all the money that is with the common people, that means the money which is available with the public, the money that is available with the commercial banks. We all have at least a little knowledge about the working of the banks, right? The banks take deposits from the people and grant loan to people. The primary function of the commercial banks, for example SBI, Punjab National Bank, the Union Bank, the United Bank of India, then there are various other banks, right? The Bank of Baroda, Bank of India. So all these banks has the primary responsibility of taking deposits from the people. That means people like us go to the bank and keep our money there as deposit, because we all know that keeping money in the bank is a very safe thing, right? We cannot keep the money in our house locker. So instead of that, we go to the bank and we keep the money as deposit in the bank to keep it safe. So what happens by using the same money? The government gives loans to the other people. So that's how money is kept circulating in the economy, right? So high-powered money constitutes all the money that is available with the commercial banks. That means basically the deposits of the people. The money that is available with us, with the common people. Also students, it includes the money that is available with the highest bank, that is the Reserve Bank of India, which is also known as the central bank. So high-powered money constitutes all the money which is available in the economy. So that is why it is called the total monetary base of the economy, right? And it is called high-powered because it has been issued by the government and the RBI. It is not something which has been issued by the common people. It is issued by the highest authority, highest administrative authority, that is the government and the RBI. That is why it possesses a very high value or a very high power. So that is why it is known as high powered money. It has got a very high value. We can make various kinds of transactions using this money, right? So it has got a very high value. So that is why it is known as high powered money. It is issued by the government and the RBI, right? The next important form of money, students, is legal tender money. So another name which has been given to the paper currency notes and coins is legal tender money. Legal means something which is official, something which is right? As opposed to illegal or unfair. So students, the paper currency notes and coins that we are using are called legal tender money because they are officially in circulation in the country. That means no one can refuse to accept any kind of payment if it is given in the form of the paper currency notes and coins. Suppose I go to the shop to buy something. The shopkeeper has given me the good. In return, if I pay him 100 rupee note, can he refuse to accept it, saying that this is not money? No, he cannot refuse to accept it because it is legally acceptable across the country. Yes, in India we have rupee, In other countries, we have other currencies. For example, in USA, we have dollar. Then, for example, in London or in Britain, we have pound. So, different countries have different currencies, and all the currencies of different countries are acceptable across that country. The Indian rupee is not acceptable in USA, or the USA dollar is not acceptable in India, but the Indian rupee is acceptable across India, in any state, in any district, in any part, in any region. It is acceptable. No one can refuse to accept it, and if someone refuses to accept it, then action can be taken against that person. So that is why, students, since these currency notes and coins are issued or authorized by the government or the RBI, no one has the right to refuse to accept any kind of payment that is made in the form of these paper currency notes and coins. So that is why they are called legal tendered money, because they are accepted as the standard form of payment, right? They are a standard form of payment. They represent a standard measure of value. They represent a store of value, transfer of value, and all these functions are legal, government authorized. So no one has the right to refuse any payment if it is made in the form of these paper currency notes and coins. So that is why it is called legal tendered money. So today we have come across 3 different names which are given to the paper currency notes and coins. First, it is known as symbolic or token money because it represents money. Its money value or face value is much higher than its commodity or intrinsic value. Money value means the money which is printed on the paper or on the metallic coin, and commodity value means the commodity by which that money is made, that paper or that metal, right? The second term which is used to refer to the paper currency notes and coins is high powered money. It is called high powered money because it has got a very high power, because it is issued by the government and the RBI, and it constitutes the entire monetary base of the economy, right? The money available with the public, the money available with the commercial banks, and the money available with the RBI. The commercial banks are also supposed to keep a certain part of their deposits with RBI, right? So those things we will discuss later on if you study economics after your 10th. So if we study economics, so we will be able to study about those things in details. As of now, just know that high powered money constitutes all the money in the economy. Money with the commercial banks, money with the RBI, as well as money with the general public. And it possesses a very high value because it is issued by the government. The third important form of money is legal tendered money. So students, legal tender money, this term is used because the money which is in circulation in the country is acceptable across the country. It is used or it is accepted as a standard measure of payment. No one can refuse any kind of payments made in the form of these money. So since it is legally acceptable, that is why it is called a legal tendered money. So these are the 3 different forms of money that we have discussed today. Students, let us now try to gather some important knowledge related to some important facts. So the first point says that the paper currency notes and coins are generally accepted as a medium of exchange or money in India. So this is a thing which we all know, that the paper currency notes and coins are acceptable across India as a standard medium of exchange. But students, do you have any idea who issues these paper currency notes and coins? Let us find out. The paper currency notes and students, the metallic coins which are of denomination means the value, right? The money value. So the paper currency notes and coins which are of denomination of rupees 2 and above. That means the minimum denomination is rupees 2 and the maximum is 2000, which is presently in circulation. So basically the paper currency notes and coins of denomination of rupees 2 and above are issued or are authorized or are printed by the Reserve Bank of India, right? With the permission of the Finance Ministry. So Reserve Bank of India is the highest banking authority. So it has the power, or it has the sole right to issue currency notes and coins of denomination of rupees 2 and above, but it has to take the permission of the finance ministry, that is the Ministry of Finance, the Union Ministry, Government of India, right? So all the paper currency notes and coins starting from rupees 2, rupees 5, rupees 10, rupees 20, rupees 50, rupees 100, rupees 500 and rupees 2000, both coins and notes are issued by whom? The RBI, in permission with the Ministry of Finance. So students, at present the RBI is issuing currency notes and coins of all these denominations which are given in the slide and which I have also mentioned just now. But students, who issues the rupees 1 and its subsidiaries? So subsidiaries means the 50 paise coin, 25 paise coin, 5 paise coin. So those were in circulation previously. I don't think that you have ever seen those coins. Probably you have seen the 50 paise coin, but I don't think you have seen that 5 paise or 1 paise coin. I have seen that. So students, rupee 1 and its subsidiaries, that is 50 paise, which is presently available, but earlier we used to have 25 paise, 5 paise as well. So all those are issued by the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. Those are not issued by RBI, those are issued by the Ministry of Finance, Government of India, that is the central government ministry or department, right? So students, the paper currency notes and coins are accepted as the standard medium of exchange across India. Reserve Bank issues the paper currency notes and coins of denomination of rupees 2 and above. That means starting from rupees 2 to rupees 2000. It is issued by RBI with the permission of the Finance Ministry. Rupee 1 and its subsidiaries, both rupee 1 note and coin, are issued by the Finance Ministry itself. RBI does not issue rupee 1, it is issued by the Finance Ministry, the Government of India, right? So students, today we have discussed the various other names of the modern currencies: legal tender money, high powered money, symbolic or token money, and then we have also discussed some important facts. We came to know about who issues the paper currency notes and coins. So students, with this let us end today's class here. I hope you all are clear with the concepts that are discussed today. In case you feel you have any doubt or difficulty, do contact me. I'll surely help you. So students, on this note, thank you to all for actively participating in the classes, for cooperating with the teachers, and hope to see you all in your next class. Yes students, tomorrow we will be having a Zoom session. That means we will be conducting our class in Zoom. I'll be sharing with you all the link today itself. So students, you're just supposed to click on the link and you'll be able to have access to the Zoom meeting. Also, if you face any kind of difficulty in getting access to the meeting, you can use the meeting ID and the password for entering the meeting. Okay students, then see you all tomorrow in your Zoom session. Thank you, take care and stay safe.